I didn't believe it at first. Not really. I kept telling myself I was imagining things. But when I saw her, my wife, laughing with him in that restaurant, the weight of every lie hit me like a hammer. I clenched my fists so hard I thought I'd break my own fingers. "Are you okay, man?" Jason asked, sliding into the seat across from me. He'd been my friend for 10 years, my business partner, and the only person who ever knew how much I trusted her. "I'm fine," I said, but my voice was tight. "Hello." I stared out the window, pretending the neon lights were more interesting than the scene behind me. "Come on, don't lie to me. You look like someone just punched you in the gut." I swallowed hard. I caught her with him. Jason's eyebrows shot up. "With who?" "That guy. The one she's been sneaking around with for months." I thought I was imagining the late nights, the missed calls, the strange excuses. My voice broke. I wasn't imagining anything. Jason didn't say a word for a moment. Just let me sit there, trembling, staring at nothing. Then he leaned forward, resting a hand on my shoulder. "I'm so sorry, man. I wish I could stop it, but I should have seen it. I should have done something." My chest burned, my heart pounding. I built everything for her, Jason. Every deal, every success, it was for us. And she threw it all away. Jason shook his head slowly. "You can't blame yourself for her choices." "But I could. I always did. Every smile I gave her, every late night I worked thinking she appreciated it, it was wasted. And now the betrayal wasn't just emotional. It was public. I keep replaying the conversations," I muttered. "The ones where she said she was tired. The ones where she needed space. I should have known." "Don't torture yourself," Jason said firmly. "You didn't make her cheat." I laughed bitterly. "No, but I let it happen. I trusted her. Blindly. And now," my throat tightened. I couldn't finish. "Hey," Jason said softly, "you're going to get through this. You're strong. You always have been. Strong." That word felt like a knife. Strong had done nothing when she slipped away, when he took what was mine. I wanted to scream. To tear down every memory we built together. "I don't want to be strong," I said, voice low, trembling. I want her to feel what I feel. I want her to regret it. Every single second." Jason's hand tightened on my shoulder. "Revenge isn't who you are, man. But I get it. I'd feel the same if it were me." My vision blurred. She's smiling at him. Laughing. Like she never even cared about me. And here I am, pretending to be fine. Pretending I'm not burning alive inside. "I know," Jason said. "I know." I leaned back, gripping the edge of the table, trying to steady my shaking hands. I pictured her face, the casual cruelty in her eyes as she ignored everything we had. It was unbearable. And yet, a strange clarity settled over me. "This isn't over," I whispered, more to myself than to him. "Not by a long shot." Jason raised an eyebrow. "What do you mean?" "I mean," I said, my jaw tightening, "I'm going to rise. I'm going to become everything she can't handle. Every penny, every deal, every victory, she's going to watch it all slip past her, knowing she lost me. She'll regret it. I promise." Jason stayed silent, but I saw the recognition in his eyes, the understanding that this was the moment I changed. And in that instant I felt something dark and dangerous stir inside me. A fire. A desire that wasn't just about heartbreak anymore. It was about justice. About revenge. I clenched my fists again, this time with purpose. "She chose him over me," I muttered. "Good. Let her see what she threw away." The world outside the window blurred, but I didn't care. For the first time in months I felt alive. I woke up gasping, drenched in sweat, my heart hammering as if it wanted to escape my chest. The ceiling above me was familiar, my old apartment, years younger, untouched by time. For a second I thought I'd dreamt it all. But then I touched my face, my hands, and everything felt real. No, this can't be happening," I whispered. My voice cracked. Me?" From the doorway, my younger self's roommate peered in. "You okay? You've been screaming again. Weird dreams." I swallowed hard, trying to steady my voice. "Yeah, just a nightmare." But inside, my mind was racing, spinning. I remembered everything, her betrayal, every lie, every humiliation. And now I had a second chance. I paced the room, muttering, "If this is real, if I'm really back, I can fix everything. I can win. I can stop her before she ruins me." My younger self's phone buzzed. I grabbed it instinctively. Emails, schedules, everything I knew would happen. I can see it all again. I can change it. "What are you doing?" the roommate asked, raising an eyebrow. "Nothing," I lied, quickly pocketing the phone. Just thinking. Thinking. That word didn't cover it. I had a plan forming like steel coiling inside me. First, I had to act like nothing was wrong, like the betrayal never happened, while quietly plotting. I ran through possibilities aloud, pacing. I could forgive her, no. Ignore her, maybe. But revenge makes sense. I know what's coming. I can stay one step ahead. I can dominate. You sound intense, my roommate said, frowning. Everything okay with your girlfriend? I froze. My mind snapped back. Yeah, everything's fine, I said, forcing a laugh. Just thinking about the future. He shook his head but didn't press. I exhaled slowly, relief flooding me. You didn't know. No one could know. Not yet. I spent the rest of the morning replaying every conversation, every meeting, every opportunity one would have in this second chance. I muttered aloud, pacing the tiny living room. I remember the deals, the mistakes, the people I trusted. No more mistakes. No more letting her control me. I'll be stronger, smarter, faster. Then came the hardest part, the family. I saw them in my memories, their doubts, their favoritism toward my younger brother, their careless comments that always stung. I won't let them have power over me anymore, I said, clenching my fists. They'll see me rise and I'll take everything I deserve. My phone buzzed again, my younger self's work group chat. I paused, staring at the screen, then typed quickly, almost on instinct. Morning team. Let's make today count. Big meeting coming. I smiled at my reflection in the mirror. Yes, they won't know what hit them. I'll be the CEO, the owner, the master of my fate, and she'll regret ever betraying me. A chill ran down my spine as I imagined her face, smug, thinking I was weak. I leaned closer to the mirror, whispering, not this time. This time I win. Every single thing she took from me, I'll take back and more. My mind was alive with possibilities, every step laid out, every move planned. I could feel the fire building inside me, the same fire that had nearly consumed me before, now sharper, cleaner, more focused. By evening I had decided. I wouldn't just rebuild my life. I would surpass it. I would rise to power, and nothing, not her, not my family, not anyone, would stand in my way. I will be a billionaire CEO, I muttered, pacing again. I will take back everything. And when I'm done, she'll regret ever choosing him over me. The weight of my second chance settled over me, exhilarating and terrifying. But for the first time in a long time, I felt alive. My life wasn't over, it was just beginning. I sat in the boardroom, my palms resting lightly on the polished mahogany table, listening to the projections. Everyone was nervous, stumbling over numbers, afraid to make the wrong move. I smiled under my calm exterior. I already knew which ventures would skyrocket. Are you sure this is safe? Asked one of my colleagues, sweat glistening on his forehead. I've run the numbers 100 times, I said. If we execute this correctly, we'll double our market share in 6 months. Trust me. He hesitated, glancing at the others, then nodded reluctantly. Okay, we trust you. I leaned forward, voice firm. Good. Then let's make it happen. As the meeting ended, my assistant whispered, there's someone waiting for you outside. He says he's from Titan Corp. I frowned. Titan Corp had always been a thorn in my side, led by Victor Chin, a man ambitious enough to bulldoze anyone in his path. Send him in. Victor entered, wearing that smug grin that made me want to punch him. I hear you've been making waves, he said smoothly. Interesting strategies for someone so young. I smirked. Experience isn't always measured by age. Sometimes it's measured by foresight. And I have plenty of that. His eyes narrowed. Careful. Not all of us play by the same rules. One wrong move and... I'm counting on it, I interrupted, my tone sharp. I've planned for every move you could make. Try me. He blinked, clearly surprised by my confidence. Bold, he said, stepping back. We'll see how long it lasts. As he left, I exhaled, running a hand over my face. He was a serious threat, but nothing I hadn't anticipated. My mind drifted to her. To the woman who betrayed me, laughing with another man while I bled quietly inside. That memory fueled my determination. I spent the next few months moving swiftly. Every deal I knew would succeed, I executed. Every potential failure, I avoided. I saw opportunities others overlooked. The tech startups that would boom, the real estate that would skyrocket, the stocks that would crash before anyone noticed. I spoke to investors with unwavering confidence. Are you certain about this acquisition? My CFO asked. I am, I said. We take the risk, we control the outcome. If you hesitate, you lose. And I never lose. Understood, he said, scribbling notes furiously. Late at night, I often caught myself staring at the ceiling, thoughts racing. It's not enough to be rich, I muttered. I have to surpass her. Every move, every dollar, every step, she must see me rise while she falls. That's the only satisfaction worth having. One evening, I ran into Elena, my former colleague and one of my few confidants from the past. You're different, she said, tilting her head. I can't place it, but you carry yourself like someone who knows more than everyone else. I do, I said with a slight smile. I know enough to make sure I win. Her eyes softened. I hope you're careful. Revenge can consume you. I laughed, a low, dark chuckle. I'm not being consumed. I'm being precise. Every step is calculated. I've already lost once. I won't make that mistake again. Weeks passed. My name started circulating in the business world, not just as a rising CEO, but as someone ruthless, intelligent, and unstoppable. My rivals whispered about my uncanny ability to anticipate moves before they happened. Victor tried again, attempting to sabotage one of my major deals. I've already seen your plan, I told him calmly after reviewing his moves. Nice try, but too predictable. He stared at me speechless. How did you know? I pay attention, I said, smirking. And I never forget. By the time my former wife's social circle caught wind of my success, I had already secured my place as a billionaire CEO. The stocks, the acquisitions, the media attention, it all solidified my power. I saw her name in the gossip columns and a small, sharp thrill ran through me. She's going to notice soon, I muttered to myself. Every empire I build, every headline she reads, she'll realize what she lost. And by the time she does, it'll be too late to touch me. Jason called late one night. I heard about the deal with Novatech. You're moving fast, man. Are you sure you're not pushing too hard? I'm not pushing, I said, voice calm but steely. I'm executing. Every move is exactly as it should be. I promised myself I'd surpass her, and I will. Nothing will stop me. Not her, not anyone. He was silent for a moment, then chuckled. You've changed, but I get it. That fire in you, it's unstoppable. Good, I said, hanging up. It has to be. Because this is only the beginning. I leaned back in my chair, staring at the city skyline. Every light in the distance reminded me of what I was building. Every dollar, every deal, every step, I was reclaiming my life, my pride, and setting the stage for the ultimate revenge. And deep down, I knew one thing for certain. She would regret every choice she made the moment she sees me at the top. I didn't expect to see her that night. Not here. Not like this. You, she said, eyes widening slightly before narrowing. What are you doing in a place like this? I smiled faintly. Same question. She laughed, brushing her hair back like she used to. Don't tell me you're still chasing dreams. This place isn't cheap. I can afford it, I said calmly. She looked me up and down, clearly unconvinced. Right. Still pretending, huh? Some habits never change. Her words didn't hurt the way they once did. Instead, I felt something cold and steady settle in my chest. You look tired, I said. She scoffed. I've been busy. Real life is exhausting. Is that what you call it? I asked. Real life. She crossed her arms. What's that supposed to mean? Nothing, I replied. Just curious. She leaned closer, lowering her voice. I heard things didn't work out for you. Business problems. Bad investments. I raised an eyebrow. You heard wrong. She smiled with false sympathy. You always said big things, but reality catches up eventually. I almost laughed. Almost. Reality has a funny way of surprising people. Her phone buzzed. She glanced at the screen and frowned before forcing a smile. Look, I don't have time for this. I just wanted to say, I hope you're okay. That's kind of you, I said. Considering everything. She stiffened. You're still holding on to that? Shouldn't I? I asked quietly. She exhaled sharply. You're impossible. You never let things go. And you let go too easily, I replied. She looked away. For a second, I saw cracks in her confidence. Then she straightened. I made choices. You should do the same. I did, I said. That's why I'm here. Her eyes flicked around the room again, doubt creeping in. You really belong here? I met her gaze. More than you think. She changed the subject quickly. I heard you live alone now. Still working nonstop. Yes, I said. But this time it's for me. She hesitated. Things haven't been easy for me either. I nodded slowly. I noticed. Her lips pressed together. You don't know anything, I know your investments failed, I said. I know your friends stopped calling. I know the man you chose doesn't answer anymore. Her face drained of color. How would you know that? I pay attention, I replied. She laughed nervously. You're bluffing. Am I? I asked. You're wearing borrowed confidence and unpaid debt. She clenched her jaw. You think you've won something? I think I've learned, I said. She stared at me, anger mixing with uncertainty. You act like you're above me now. I am, I said simply. Silence fell between us. I could hear her breathing, uneven and sharp. You changed, she said. So did you, I replied. The difference is I grew. Her eyes flickered with something close to regret. If I had known you'd turn out like this, you wouldn't have left? I asked. She didn't answer. That was enough. I should go, I said, standing. I have a meeting. She blinked. At this hour? Yes, I replied. With people who matter. She stood too fast. Wait. I paused. You don't hate me, she said. I can tell. I don't, I admitted. That's the part you should fear. Her voice softened. We made mistakes. Both of us. No, I said. You made a choice. I lived with it. She stepped closer. We could talk. Start over. I looked at her, then really looked. The woman who once owned my heart now looked small, uncertain, and afraid. Start over? I asked. She nodded. It doesn't have to end like this. I smiled, slow and controlled. It already did. You just didn't feel it yet. Her eyes searched my face. What are you planning? Nothing you need to worry about, I said. Just living well. I turned to leave. Wait, she called, desperation slipping through. Can we meet again? Just once. To talk. I stopped without turning around. Sure, I said. We'll talk. Her breath hitched with relief. I walked away knowing one thing clearly. She thought this was reconciliation. I knew it was the beginning of her regret. I never touched her directly. That was the rule I set for myself. Are you sure this contract is solid? My legal advisor asked, flipping through the pages. I nodded. It's airtight. If her company collapses, it won't be because of me. It'll be because of her choices. He hesitated. You're letting the market do the work. Exactly, I said. Karma doesn't need help. Just direction. The first crack appeared quietly. One supplier backed out. Then another. I watched the news with a calm expression while sipping my coffee. She lost the Shenzhen deal, my assistant said. People are asking questions. Let them, I replied. Questions lead to answers. At a charity gala, I heard her name whispered behind champagne glasses. Did you hear? Someone murmured. Her finances are shaky. She used to be so confident, another voice said. Guess luck ran out. I stood nearby, silent, invisible, powerful. She approached me later, forcing a smile. You seem busy lately. I am, I said. Success does that. She laughed weakly. I could use some advice. From me? I asked. I thought I wasn't good enough. Her jaw tightened. You don't have to be cruel. I'm not, I said honestly. I'm just not saving you. A week later, a minor scandal surfaced. Nothing illegal. Just careless emails, leaked at the wrong time. How did this happen? She demanded over the phone. People are turning on me. I don't know, I replied calmly. Maybe trust is fragile. You're enjoying this, she accused. I closed my eyes briefly. I'm watching consequences. She tried to fight back. New investors. Public apologies. Smiles that didn't reach her eyes. She's desperate, Jason said during lunch. She's burning bridges. I know, I said. That's what panic looks like. But do you feel better? He asked quietly. I didn't answer right away. That night I sat alone, staring at the city lights. Is this justice? I whispered. Or just revenge dressed nicely? Her voice echoed in my head from years ago. You're not enough. I clenched my fist. No, I said aloud. This is balance. She requested a meeting. I just need time, she said, sitting across from me, hands shaking. One chance. You had many, I replied. I was confused, she insisted. I made mistakes. So did I said. I trusted you. Her eyes filled with tears. I never thought you'd become this cold. I never thought you'd betray me, I answered. Silence stretched. You planned this, she said finally. Didn't you? I planned my survival, I corrected. You planned your escape. She laughed bitterly. You're winning. Isn't that enough? I leaned back. Winning isn't about you anymore. She stared at me, searching for something. Do you still love me? The question hit harder than I expected. I loved who I thought you were, I said slowly. Not who you chose to be. Her shoulders slumped. I don't recognize my life anymore. I know the feeling, I replied. Another report dropped the next morning. Her board demanded answers. Investors fled. She's done, my assistant said quietly. Not yet, I said. She needs to understand why. When we crossed paths again, she looked smaller, worn down. I lost everything, she said. Are you satisfied? I studied her face. The regret was real. Raw. Undeniable. I don't feel empty, I said. But I don't feel joy either. She swallowed. Then why keep going? I stood. Because stopping now would mean lying to myself. She whispered, I wish I never left. I met her eyes. So do I. For different reasons. I walked away without looking back. Later, alone in my office, I loosened my tie and exhaled slowly. This isn't about cruelty, I told myself. It's about closure. Outside, the city moved on, uncaring. Inside, I remained composed, untouchable, and fully aware of one truth. Her regret had finally arrived. And I was already beyond her reach. I sat alone in my office, the city lights outside blurred through exhaustion. Despite everything I had achieved, a hollow ache settled in my chest. Jason's call broke the silence. You okay, man? You sound quieter than usual. I'm fine, I said, though my voice didn't convince me. Just thinking. About her? He asked cautiously. I paused, gripping the edge of my desk. Yes, about her. Then why does it sound like you're second-guessing yourself? Because I am, I admitted. I've built everything to surpass her, to make her regret. But, my hands tightened. Am I doing this for me or just to hurt her? Jason was silent for a moment. Maybe a bit of both. I laughed bitterly. A bit of both? You make it sound so easy. You're human, he said simply. Even the smartest, strongest ones feel conflicted. Later that evening, I ran into Mia, my old college friend, at a gala. She smiled warmly. It's been years. I almost didn't recognize you. I've changed, I said carefully. Life has a way of teaching lessons. She studied me. You look serious, not angry, not sad. Just contained. I've learned to control it, I admitted. Sometimes that's the only way to survive. Control can be lonely, she said gently. Do you ever wonder if all this success, revenge, if it's worth it? Her words pierced deeper than I expected. Every day, I whispered. I think about what I've sacrificed. The moments lost. The trust one once had. She nodded. You can't undo the past. But maybe you can learn from it, and forgive yourself too. I don't know if I can forgive her, I said honestly. Not fully. But I'm learning that revenge isn't the only measure of justice. A familiar voice interrupted. I see you're moving on without me. I turned. Her cheating eyes glared at me. I'm not moving on, I said. I'm standing where I need to be. I came to talk, she said, stepping closer. We could fix things if you let me. Fix things? I repeated, incredulous. You left me. You betrayed me. Do you know what that does to someone? Her lips trembled. I made a mistake. I was young. I didn't know. I trusted you, I said quietly, letting the weight of those words sink in. I gave you my life and you threw it away. She reached out, almost pleading. I still care. I want a chance. I stepped back, shaking my head. You can't understand. Not fully. You can't feel what I felt when I saw you with him, laughing like I didn't exist. That pain is mine. You can never repay it. Her face fell. So that's it? You won't even try. I've tried, I said firmly. I've tried forgiving, ignoring, surviving. And now I'm here, without hatred, without obsession. I control my life, not you. Even after everything, she whispered. Yes, I said. Even after everything. My revenge was never just for me, it was for the respect I deserve. But forgiveness, that's for me too. She stumbled back, speechless. I could see the desperation. She wanted closure, but she wouldn't get it on her terms. After she left, I leaned against the window, staring at the city below. My thoughts wandered to what Mia said. Control can be lonely. But it's necessary. Without it, I would still be consumed by anger, by heartbreak. I whispered to myself, I've come far. I've survived betrayal. I built my life. And I'll keep building it, without her in the center. Jason called again later. You okay? I am, I said. I faced her. I said what needed to be said. She'll never understand fully, and that's fine. It's her loss. I'm free from the weight of her choices now. He laughed softly. You've changed. But I'm proud of you. You're not just stronger, you're wiser. I had to be, I said, looking out the window. Revenge taught me power, but reflection taught me peace. And that's what matters most. Alone, I let out a slow breath, feeling the tension in my chest ease. The path ahead was clear. The final confrontation wasn't about money or deals anymore. It was about truth, closure, and owning my own life. And for the first time in years, I felt it, calm, clarity, and certainty that I could survive anything, even her. I arrived at the gala, the city lights reflecting off the glass walls, each step measured and deliberate. She was already there, wearing the same confidence she used to wield over me. But tonight I held the cards. You're early, she said, her smile forced. I didn't expect you here yet. I wouldn't miss it, I replied softly. It's a significant night after all. Her eyes flicked over me, searching for the old version she once knew. You haven't changed, she said. Still calm, still perfect. I've changed, I said, voice steady. Just not in the ways you expect. She laughed, a brittle, nervous sound. You think you can outshine me here? Show me up. I don't need to show you, I replied. You'll see it whether I try or not. She frowned. What are you saying? I motioned subtly toward the large screen behind the stage. Take a look. Her eyes widened as a live presentation rolled. Financial reports, investor confidence, media coverage, all highlighting my achievements, acquisitions, and public accolades. Every milestone, every headline, every number screamed success. And at the bottom, in small text, a single note. Thanks to lessons learned. This can't be real, she whispered. All of this, it's too much. I told you I wouldn't fail again, I said. Every move I made, every decision I executed led to this. You watched me fall once and now you're watching me rise, untouchable. Her lips trembled. Please, we can fix this. I can help. We can. No, I interrupted softly. We can't. You chose your path. I chose mine. And mine doesn't include you. Tears pooled in her eyes. I didn't know. I didn't see. I made mistakes. I know, I said. And those mistakes led to consequences. That's life. That's karma. You can't erase it. Her hands shook as she reached out. You're not angry? You're not. I'm not angry, I said quietly. I'm in control. Control is better than anger. Anger consumes. I've learned that. She looked at me pleading. Please, can't we just talk? Just one chance. I shook my head slowly. Talking won't undo the past. It won't undo the betrayal, the heartbreak. But I can give you this, closure. From my coat pocket, I pulled a small envelope and handed it to her. She hesitated. What's this? She asked. A letter, I said. Read it when you're alone. You'll understand everything I couldn't say here. Her fingers brushed mine and I felt no spark, no longing. Just the calm certainty of distance. She opened it quickly, scanning the page, her expression shifting from curiosity to disbelief. No, this can't be. It's, she stammered. It's truth, I said. Every word. Every lesson. Every realization you'll need to accept. You lost more than you knew. She crumpled the letter in her hands, sobbing quietly. I didn't move closer. I couldn't. I wouldn't. My path was mine alone. Jason came up behind me, nodding. You did it. You stayed composed. I did, I said. This isn't cruelty. It's precision. It's justice without hate. She'll understand eventually, if she can. Across the room, her social circle whispered, casting glances at her broken composure. Friends who once flattered her now offered uneasy sympathy. Investors who once doubted me now approached with respect. She noticed it all, the subtle shift in attention, in admiration, in power. And she felt powerless. She's realizing what she lost, Jason said quietly. I know, I replied. And I don't gloat. I never did. I just exist above it all. Later, when the gala ended, I left her the envelope on her car seat. A symbolic gesture, a gift of clarity. No explanation beyond what I'd written. No parting words, no promises. Just the reality of what she had caused and what I had become. Walking away, I reflected quietly. Betrayal had been the fire that forged me. Survival, intelligence, and foresight had allowed me to reclaim everything. wealth, influence, respect, and self-worth. But the greatest victory wasn't the empire I built. It was the calm I found within myself. I remembered every night of heartbreak, every sleepless thought, every moment I'd questioned myself. And now, each memory felt like a stepping stone, each pain a teacher, each betrayal a catalyst. I survived, I whispered to the night. I rose. And I've become more than the man I was. The streets shimmered with neon and possibility. I had no hatred, no obsession, no emptiness left to fill. The world was mine, but more importantly, I was mine. She would learn the consequences of her actions in time. And I would remain steady, untouchable, above resentment, above sorrow. For the first time in years I smiled, not for revenge, not for power, not for recognition. I smiled because I had endured, I had survived, and I had reclaimed my life fully. And that was enough. I walked into the small cafe, the scent of coffee and fresh pastries grounding me. Jason waved from a corner table. You actually showed up early. Impressive. I wanted a quiet start, I said, sliding into the seat across from him. You seem lighter, he observed. Like you're finally breathing again. I am, I admitted. I've spent so long chasing revenge, tracking every consequence, planning every move. Now I'm free of it. A waitress approached. Can I get you two anything? Black coffee, please, I said. As she walked away, I glanced at Jason. Do you remember Mia? Jason chuckled. Of course. The one who used to keep you grounded. Yes, I said softly. She reminded me that life isn't only about payback. That people, trust, and honesty matter too. Jason nodded. And I've started repairing what I can, I said. Business allies, old friends, even my own self-respect. Later, I met with Elena, an early supporter and confidant. You've changed, she said. You're approachable now. Less calculating. I've realized that precision isn't just about winning, I replied. It's about understanding. About building relationships that matter. She smiled. Sounds like you've grown. I leaned back, watching people move past the window. I have. Revenge taught me power. Reflection taught me restraint. Survival taught me clarity. A young entrepreneur approached me. Sir, I've been following your career, and your story is inspiring. Can we talk partnership? I smiled. Of course. Let's see how we can help each other. As we spoke, I felt a genuine connection. Not transactional, not manipulative, just real. Later, alone in my office, I reflected on her, my cheating wife. I didn't need to check on her. I knew karma was at work. Financial mistakes, social missteps, public embarrassment, she was learning consequences naturally. I didn't interfere. That was the point. Some people never learn unless life teaches them directly, I muttered. Jason called from across town. She tried reaching out again. Are you worried? I laughed softly. Worried? No. She'll realize the rest in her own time. My path isn't about her anymore. It's about me. He chuckled. I like this version of you. Strong, calm, focused. I finally understand that strength isn't just wealth or influence, I said. It's integrity, resilience, and knowing who you are. Later, I walked through the park, observing families, friends, and strangers laughing. I felt lighter than I had in years. A child ran past and tripped. I caught him instinctively. His mother smiled. Thank you. I nodded, smiling. It's nothing. Just helping. It struck me how much I had missed life while consumed by anger. The small moments, the human connections, they mattered far more than revenge ever could. Jason met me later. So what now? Now, I said, looking at the sunset, I live for myself. I build, I connect, I grow. The rest will fall into place. He nodded. Sounds peaceful. It is, I said quietly. And that peace is my victory. I pulled my journal from my bag and wrote a single line. I survived betrayal, reclaimed my life, and discovered that true power is not control over others, but control over myself. Looking out over the city, I realized how far I had come. Not just in wealth, not just in influence, but in self-respect, moral clarity, and emotional strength. And for the first time, I felt fully whole. I walked away from the window, away from the shadows of the past, and stepped into the life I had fought so hard to earn. One defined not by vengeance, but by resilience, understanding, and the freedom to truly live.